Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to do this perspective drawing digitally. So we're going to use pixlr.com/e. When you get there, you're going to hit Create New. This will come default and you can title it there and hit Create. The first thing you're going to do is create your horizon line. The reason you want to start with your horizon line is because that way you will know where to put your vanishing points. I would change your stroke to a smaller stroke. That way it'll be a thin line. And right over here you have your color. That's what color your line is going to be. So you can click on that and change it. Right now I have mine just black and white, and you have two colors easily available right there. Alright, so you can decide if you want to have more ground or sky. That's what the horizon line is, the line that divides ground and sky. And that will make more sense once you've done one of these, whether or not you want more or less. So right now I'm just going to put it somewhere in the middle. But what is important is that you hold down Shift on your keypad so that your line is straight, and then unclick. So there's your horizon line. Alright, from there you're going to put your vanishing points. So I would switch to the circle shape and draw two circles, small, just right at the edge of that line right there. Alright, so from here we're going to switch back to the line and we're going to draw our corner line. It really can be anywhere, just wherever you want to start your first building. I'm going to hold down, oops, that's good that happened. I'm going to hit undo. So right over here you have your history, so I'm going to go to undo that line. So start, pull your line down, and then click Shift. That'll kind of snap it into place. Alright, so there's my first line. Alright, from here you're going to draw from the top to the vanishing point, and you do not have to hold down Shift, and then to the bottom of that line. And then you're going to go back up here to the vanishing point again, and then to the top. So try your best to get it accurate right on there. Now you need to decide if you're going to have a skinny building or a longer building, and that depends on if you're drawing, what type of building you're drawing. So I'm going to draw me another parallel line down, hit Shift so that it snaps into place, and then we're going to draw our other line here. Again, you can hit Shift once you get that line started and it'll snap into place. Alright, so there's my first building. You might not be able to see, you don't have to erase, but I'm going to erase just so you can see. Here's your eraser right here. I'm going to erase my horizon line, because in the city, you wouldn't see your horizon line. The building is actually going to cover it up. And if you know you're going to draw all of a city, you don't really want to see the ground and sky, once you get your vanishing points, you could go ahead and just erase this entire line if you want to. That way you don't have to erase it as you go. It'll make it easier. Don't worry about getting all of it, because I'm going to show you that here in just a second what you're going to do. Alright, so there's your first building. You could go ahead and erase these lines if you want, but again, we can do that at the end. There we go. Alright, so then we're going to do our second building. Switch back over here to the shape. You'll have your line. You can start right here, especially if this is going to be like a road down here. So start right here. You're going to draw exactly like you just did that first building. It could be shorter or taller. Hit Shift so it snaps into place. Alright, and then you're going to do your line to your vanishing point, and line over here to your vanishing point. And you already have this bottom line. That's your left side right here. So you have the bottom going over here to the left vanishing point. But this is your right side, and so you need to draw another little line right here going to that vanishing point. If you really want to, you could kind of slowly bring this back in, but that's not quite as accurate. Just make sure it's still pointing towards that vanishing point over there and end it there if you'd rather. What that's going to look like is a little alleyway right here. So there's our second building. We do need to draw a line down right here for that side. And make sure you hit Shift so that that snaps into place like that. Alright, so we're going to draw us another building over here on this side. I'm not going to talk as much. Draw your line. Oops. I need to hit undo there. Alright, so start your line before you hit shift. That's what I just did. That messed up. This side is already going down there. It's actually the same height as that building, but we need a left side and a left bottom. And then we need our parallel line going down here. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to do the road. So start at your vanishing point. Well, actually, I'm going to do the sidewalk first. Just kind of eyeing it. You'll look to see, how big compared to the buildings do you think the sidewalk needs to be. And then you'll go back to the vanishing point on this side. Make sure it's actually touching the dot. And I know it's weird that it goes to a triangle, but that's how it would actually be. So there's your little sidewalk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in over here on my navigate. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to move this little box down, and I'm going to make sure I can see my vanishing point, because this is a small little detail that you don't want to forget. It's the little step down from the sidewalk. So you just draw a little parallel line and then snap it over here to the vanishing point. And then you want to move it to where you can see your other vanishing point. And make sure you get right there on it and draw your line there. And that's what makes that look like a little step. Alright, so now we're going to zoom back out and we're going to do the road. So the road is just like the sidewalk, except for it's bigger. And right here, mine's actually going to come off the page, which is fine. So that would come off the page. And then when we do the road over here, you just want to kind of eyeball it and make those two look the same distance there. Alright, so now we have all these different lines everywhere. So what we're going to do, you could erase, if there's a really bothering you, but instead what I found is easier is to go up here to your stroke, and you can keep drawing buildings more and more. Go up here to your stroke and just make it a little bit bigger. And now we're going to change the color to black, or really you could do, I'm going to actually make mine gray. Just something that's darker than the white. And I'm going to go in and outline what I want to keep. And when you do, just make sure you're actually turning these into shape, because that's going to matter later when you have to add color and value to these. So actually make sure those lines are touching right there. So you're going to go through and outline what you want to keep. And it's okay if it's just a little bit off. Alright, so you're going through and outlining. On mine, it's a little hard to see, and I think the reason for that is because the background doesn't have anything on it right now. And I chose gray, so you might want to keep, either put you a background in there or pick a different color than gray. So you're just going to go through here and outline what you want to keep. So you would go through there. And I'm mainly going to show you this later, but the reason for that outline, just so you don't think you're just wasting time, is because we're going to actually go in here and use our paint bucket tool and fill these shapes in. And then use our paintbrush to fill in these lines, and that's going to keep us from having to erase all those lines later on. So start with your reference lines. Those will be in one color. Right now mine are white. And then pick a color that you'll actually go in and outline them in. And then this is how you're going to form your city. I will show you how to do a few details like the windows and doors. So if we snap back over here to our shape and our line tool, and you can do these in a different color too if you want. So I'm going to do my windows in kind of a bluish gray. Alright, so if you want to draw a window, let's just say over here, this is the left side of your building, this is the right. So anything on the right side is going to go over here to the right vanishing point. Anything on the left is going to go over here to the left. So I'm actually going to, erase a little bit of these lines just so they don't get in the way of my windows and doors. That's one option. Don't worry about you don't want to erase your lines, so just leave those little bits there. I'm going to draw my window on this gray building right here. I'm going to do a little bit of a lighter blue so it stands out. Alright, pick up my shape, my line tool. So if I want a window right here, I would draw my line going down to the vanishing point. I need to draw my parallel line, holding down Shift. You can make your window however big you want to. Oops, and that line moved a little bit, so I need to undo. The reason why is because I unclicked Shift before I unclicked my cursor. And then back over here. Okay, and then you're going to draw another parallel line down. Start your line and then hold down Shift so it snaps into place. And there would be your window. And just likewise, you could do the same for a door. So you would draw your parallel line up, hit Shift, draw your line to your vanishing point, and then your line down, hold down Shift so it snaps into place. So there will be your door. If you wanted to divide your window, what you can do is hold down your Shift, oops, undo, hold down Shift, hold down Shift, and then that turns that into two windows. You could use your eraser, make it a little bit smaller so you can fit in that place right there. And you could actually go in, you could zoom in if you want to over there with your navigation, but you could erase that little line and then you would have two windows rather than one. And then if you wanted to take that even further, you could actually divide it in half this way, and then it's going to turn it into 4 windows. And I would just try to make those equal parts. And again, let me just show you with the eraser. Or you could take your paintbrush right here and take your eyedropper tool and pick up that color that you use for the background of the building in the paintbrush. Again, you're going to need to make it smaller. And then you could go in and it's just like the eraser, but instead of erasing, it's actually just going to cover it up with that color. And I would have needed to zoom in. I kind of messed up right there, but then maybe you can kind of see better of how that would be. Do better than this. Zoom in. I'm trying to rush so I can make a 15-minute video, but there would be 4 windows rather than just one big one. Alright, you can do all kinds of stuff like drawing lines in the center of the road to just make sure everything that you draw goes over there to the vanishing point. You could do like a fence and it would still go to the vanishing point. So let's see here. I'm going to switch colors. If I wanted to do a fence down here, you could have it going like that. And you could draw like your cross lines in there. And that would be like a metal fence going through. Or I can go to undo. And you could do vertical lines going down, go down Shift. There's all kinds of stuff, so just play around with what you decide to do here. And that would look kind of like a fence right there. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this and I hope that helps with what you're trying to do.